Hello and welcome to the Syndicate. The year on the calendar reads 1863, June 17th to be specific, and this was to be a normal day in London, for the heart of the ever-expanding British Empire begins to fire into life for another day of expansion within the period of the Pax Britannica. Overseas, the American Civil War enters its second year, with no clear victory in sight. The French, under Emperor Napoleon III, cousin to his once renowned uncle, have launched an invasion into the unstable region of Mexico to put Austrian Maximilian I on the throne. Only 7 days prior to this date, they managed to enter the capital, Mexico City. In continental Europe, a committee of 5 gather in Geneva to establish the idea of an international Red Cross. The January uprising breaks out, seeking Polish, Lithuania and Ruthenian freedom from the grip of the Russian Tsar. The recently born Italy, once a series of 7 states under the spheres of France and Austria, sits proudly as the boot of Europe. Otto von Bismarck, a meticulous German diplomat, continues his work to build the 39 German states into a unitary Germanic body. The recent echoes from the Crimean War still ring as Romania continues its new unification and independence from the Ottoman vice. But still, much like the past 50 years, Scandinavia remains quiet. Back at home, the city begins to wake as the trains start their services and carriages haul passengers. Factories fire up their boilers and the wheels of industry get rolling. But we don't focus on the industry. We look towards a small agency located in the district of Holborn in London, a short walk from Covent Garden and Somerset House. We look to the address of 12 and 13 Barter Street. Inside lay an organised mess of notes, string, beds and everything else that is not at all professional. So please, would my 2 concurrent players like to introduce themselves?
You want to go first then?
You can go first.
I am Toby Mariano. I'm playing Joseph Miva Singov. I'm a human ranger.
I'm Shiva. I am playing Quill Griffin, a human wizard rogue.
So,
We have a third, not here yet.
yeah, we do have a third, but they are in transit currently. But for now, we shall focus on these 2. So, as the day dawns, the 2 of you awake within this sort of confused mess of different notes, different boards, and different files pertaining to many a case around the city of London, stretching as far to Westminster from Whitechapel. What is it you're going to do? We'll start with old Quill.
Quill is absent-mindedly going over the files of the various cases they're on, while feeding his pigeon, Galileo.
Okay, and what is Joseph going to do?
You hear Joseph suddenly start yelling at something to stop eating all of the papers. It then becomes clear that he's talking to the ones that he takes his pets.
So, starting with Quill, as you look over the many different papers that lie amongst the desks, you see a load of cases that you have valiantly solved in conjunction with the London Metropolitan Police, as well as a few that still lie outstanding, some minor cases of fraud, tax evasion, a murder here or there, but one strikes so that it's unnervingly peculiar. It is a file on a recent case, the murder of a banker, Howard Davis, who works for the branch of Lloyd's within the city.
Indeed.
I take a closer look through the file.
You can see that this man was one of the many bank tellers at this branch. He was liked amongst his peers. He was a member of the community. He was all around a quite nice guy, and the only thing that they can attain from the body itself was a single stab wound in the back. Of course, there were a load of witnesses as this happened in the bank itself. But other than that, something inside you feels as though this is a pretty unordinary case.
What is it about it?
You don't quite know. It's more of a hunch than a certain understanding or perception of it, as you get that sort of detective feeling that something isn't right about this. And as you have that hunch, Joseph, as you claw back the papers and many bits and pieces from all the different rats and mice that are trying to feast upon them to keep their teeth sharp, you notice that they're not doing this to be annoying. They're doing this just to have a bit of fun.
Can I try and make little wheels out of the pieces of paper for them to just run around in?
Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check.
From memory, I'm not good at. There we go. That's a 10.
You can make squares quite easily, but you think circles may be a little bit out of your reach.
I'll just give them a bunch of squares to play with.
Absolutely fine. Obviously, looking over, you see Quill taking a very close inspection at this one file, as though it's sucked him into it.
Has that one stumped you then?
I can't quite place my finger on it, but something does feel off about it.
Give me the summary.
Banker, what's his name, Mark?
Howard Davis.
Howard Davis was stabbed to death, but it was in the bank with several witnesses.
So it might not have been personal. Was anything stolen?
I mean, was anything, Mark?
As you flick through the pages in the file, you come to see that not a lot was taken apart from a copy of a piece of paperwork, one which only Howard himself knew he had on him.
No money was stolen, just a single document.
That is all. Do you want to go investigate then? Better than sitting in this office.
May as well
Where's
be
the
worth
bank?
it.
As you go to get ready, you hear a firm knock on the door, an almost rhythmic knock. Now you recognize this knock to be someone who tends to visit regularly.
Taken. I'm going to go answer the door.
So as you go to the door, you obviously unlock it for the first time going out this morning. You open it to see a maid in a uniform carrying a tray of milk. Erin,
Hello.
please introduce the person at the door.
The person at the door is Anastasia. She is wearing very much what you would regularly see a milkmaid wearing. And she has like a kind of like a cap-ish on, like a Victorian, obviously, cap. And she's carrying milk, and it's evident that it's too heavy for her, but she's determined to have it in her hand.
I'm just going to try and help the tiniest bit, taking a few bottles off.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Who are these for then?
You guys?
All of it? Okay. I'm just going to start bringing it in.
Ah, good morning, Anastasia.
Good morning.
Morning. Can I just start giving some of the milk to the rat?
Yep. So you take a small portion of the milk, you decant it into a bowl, you take it over to the rats. They seem pleased to have something to get down their necks. As you place it down, you see them all swarm over and just collectively drink the milk as they can.
Thank you. They've been hungry all morning. I also need to copy some cases that they devoured.
You let them get the case files?
I didn't let them. I discovered them post-crime. We don't usually show up before the crime. It's not our job.
Yes, but that's as people. These are files. That's different.
They get paid to protect the files. They get paid to sell them.
It's not all about money.
What do you do it for then? You've been in this agency for years.
I don't just work for these files. I live for these files.
That explains the grin you have. You find a good murder case.
Sounds a little bit unhealthy.
I agree. Definitely agree. As I say this, you just see me petting all the rats in the circle around the bowl.
Anastasia chooses to ignore that bit.
Quill just says nothing, and then, goes back to feeding his pigeon.
Righty-ho. So as Joseph attends to his rats and Quill attends to his pigeon, Anastasia, you do see the open case file on Quill's desk, the one regarding to the unfortunately murdered banker.
Is there? It's Victorian. Is there pictures? Question.
There are... There's drawings.
Okay, because she can't read, so
Oh, okay.
so all she would see are these pictures,
Yeah.
not anything else. Just be like, oh, lovely.
I
See,
haven't actually had a look at that yet. We'll probably take it with us.
so
Out of game. Do we have a car or something, or do we just walk up?
a car? Not at this
Glorian
time.
time.
Oh, you'd be lucky if you had a couple horses.
Rats.
Yeah,
I don't think they can carry 3 people, I'm sorry.
Yeah, a car is a little bit extravagant for this time.
We're not the rich of the rich, I understand. Okay, so are we going to head to the bank, or do we have more stuff to do at the office?
We should probably head down to the bank.
Yeah, we should.
Do you want to come with us, Milkmaid? You might even learn how to read, do some maths.
Okay,
Quill
let's see.
just gives you an odd look.
Well, they have to start somewhere.
Do you think that they're gonna learn to read at the bank?
You have to read, especially at the bank. They rip you off at every chance they have.
I mean, sure. I mean, I've done my rounds, so might as well.
Come on then.
He follows them.
You coming, Quill?
Of course.
So, as you gather your bits and pieces, your effects, as you may say, you make your way out into the smoggy hellscape that is the Victorian city of London. Obviously, there are people walking to places to work, some carriages going here and there along the cobbled roads. It's a nice stroll for this time of year, and it's about a 15-20 minute walk before you do eventually come across the bank in question, the branch of Lloyd's. There's still a very somber mood around it. Obviously, this murder happened a couple days ago, hence why you've procured so many pieces of information regarding it, but it still doesn't make it any easier to answer the case.
So is it still open, or has it been closed temporarily?
It is open. It was closed on the day, of course, because
Yeah.
murders tend to do that. But it is back up and running now with, obviously, as you peer in through the doors, you do see the sort of like ad hoc barricade around where Davis was actually murdered.
Okay. Can
Do we
I
have
find-
any clearance to like search that area for clues at this point?
You would. I would say that you lot would have been some of the first on the scene to help undertake the investigation.
Okay.
Would they let me in?
Hesitantly.
Anastasia just stares them down.
Like aggressively or nervously? I want to picture this.
You can decide.
Can I roll perception?
Go for it.
What
I
is a
can't
12?
cast guidance.
A 12 on perception.
So what was the total, sorry?
A 12.
Anastasia gave a firm look. You cannot discern whether it was either option of which you suggest, but you remember them giving a firm look.
Just going to quickly walk away. Can I talk to one of the tellers, like actually at their station?
Yep, so obviously as you enter the bank, you have the little area that's cautioned off because that's where the murder happened. You've got 3 other bank tellers and a series of civilians all just looking to do work. Well, do business.
How long is the line to one of the tellers actually? Are they like lined up or are they just elsewhere?
It's not that busy at the moment, so there's the maximum... well, the longest queue is only 3 people long. The shortest is 1.
Yeah. Okay, I'll wait behind that one person.
Okay. What's Quill gonna do?
He's sweeping over the scene of the murder for any clues he might have missed.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
29.
Righty-ho, we'll come back to you in a bit. And what's Anastasia gonna do?
She is just looking around in awe. Like, she would have never been allowed near a bank in her life. It's just like...
Fair enough. As you do look around in amazement, obviously, at your allowance to enter such a building, you do feel a couple of eyes hit the back of your head, and obviously the sides as well, as people look at you a little weirdly. You know, not normally do they see someone gawk at a bank, but they don't tend to care. They've got other business to do.
Do I catch this? All the looks at them.
As you're waiting in line, you would just look around and you'd see Anastasia sort of looking a little elated and everyone looking at them.
You can say, stop gawking, you're getting gawked at.
I didn't realize I was doing that. Oh god.
So it's at that point, Joseph, you here. Next, please.
I'm gonna take a step forward.
And how may I help you today, sir?
I'm a detective looking into the case, and I'm just gonna point at the crime scene of that one over there. Were you there on the day of the crime? Yes or no?
I was not there on the day. It was actually the end of my holiday. I can grab one of my colleagues who was there.
Yes, please. Do you know where we can talk in private? Like, pull out a notepad.
I'm sure one of the little officers to the sides should be free. So I'll get them out, and you can obviously do your business there. Okay?
Thank you. I'm just gonna like look to the milkmaid and sort of like usher, come on, like the hand action.
She quickly, like shuffles her way towards you.
Now, usually I wouldn't let you anywhere near an investigation, but I need them to let their guard down. And bank people are a pain in my ass.
Okay.
So I just need you to sit there, light conversation, lower their guard, and I'll get the information.
So, you're a woman.
Sure.
Okay, I can do that.
So, as obviously the teller goes off to fetch their colleague, Quill,
Yeah.
nothing so much has changed in the time between you first looked at this murder than now. Obviously, you see the entry point in the back, just to the right of the spine where the knife went in. And you see sort of like a ad hoc outline of where they originally fell, as opposed to where they have slightly been moved to from one of the constables at the yard accidentally tripping over the body. You can see now, reading the documents again and seeing that there was only one piece of paper taken, that the jacket on his left side is not how it would normally be if someone fell down. So you can tell that he was carrying the document on his left side. Other than that, you already know as much as needed.
Okay.
It's after a minute or two that Joseph, Anastasia, you see the teller come out with his colleague, a higher member up at the bank, as he just stands at the window. And how may I serve you?
I'm concerned because they're the day of the murder.
Ah, yes.
I'm investigating that case, and I would really like your input.
Yes, if you just give me one moment. As they walk out back, it's a couple seconds before they emerge onto the main floor, having come round the barrier. We shall use one of my colleagues' empty offices, obviously, to discuss things in private.
Thank you. Lead the way.
As they sort of take you to the office, they look over at Quill. Is that one part of the investigation too?
Yes, but he's doing the more practical side of this. I'm just here to take statements yet again.
Righty-ho. As then he opens the door to the office, hand gestures you inside. You walk in. He closes the door behind you. He sits down behind the desk. Right. What questions would you like to know?
How many people were there the day of the murder, roughly?
Roughly, from what I can remember, there were obviously myself and two of the main tellers on. As for civilians, I do not know, unfortunately.
Did the victim have any grievances with any of the tellers or possible clients?
There was no disagreements amongst Howard and the rest of the tellers. He was actually quite respected. He could make deals seamlessly. It was as if he had an art for it.
Would there be any jealousy within any of your co-workers? Anyone else struggling to make any deals?
There are people who, obviously, as you put it, struggle to make deals with external companies, loans and mortgages, stuff like that. But I wouldn't say there would be any jealousy. In fact,
Yeah,
I think we still have the paperwork for the deal he signed off the day before he was unfortunately taken from this world.
do you want to see that? Do you have it on you?
I don't have it on me, but I can easily fetch one of the staff to go grab it.
That can wait for now. Did, within the workplace, outperform some of his colleagues. There was 3 other tellers on the day of the murder. Did you see who stabbed him, or just him fall?
It was a pretty busy period. He used, well, I say he, it could be a she, used the crowd to their advantage, and all I remember seeing is just this rather sort of Chinese decor on the back of their clothes as they bolted out of the building, along with the screams, the gas, the fall.
So it wasn't a worker. Would you have noticed the uniform if it was a worker?
Probably not, no.
So it could be colleague, could be civilian. The murder weapon, I haven't actually got a good look at it. How did it look like it would be something you can get very quickly, or something you would have to bring with you specifically?
I mean, it was quite a long blade. I assume that something like that isn't meant to be kept in a bank. I'm sure you know we write in pen, not blade.
So it wasn't easy to get hold of.
No, it's clear he either bought this from his home or it was sold to him on the street. I do not know.
Meaning...
What day was this again? Like weekday-wise?
Now you're asking me something. What?
Sorry. The vigorous typing.
Oh, so this actually... No, that doesn't... No. 18... hold on.
Please remember it wasn't like a Sunday when all the closed.
No, it was a Monday. So,
Use that bank-wise.
obviously, the date of the campaign starting is June 17th. So 2 days prior is June the 15th, which is a Monday.
I don't know how busy banks are on a Monday, I'll be honest. Can I roll a history if I succeed?
Yeah.
That is a mighty 13. No, 11. I can't do maths.
So you sort of have some sort of idea that it might be busy because the banks don't open on a Sunday, but
Okay.
that's a hunch.
Okay. I'm going to just pretend to jot something down on my notepad real quick. The teller, what shift were they on roughly?
They were on the same shifts as us all. 10-hour days, starting from 8, finishing at 6.
Do you know what time the murder was?
The murder was, it was just after that, which was after that. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. What time do your employees get lunch breaks roughly?
Well, one goes for lunch at 12, the other goes for lunch at 12:30. So there's always...
Would it be plausible if someone had stabbed him at 1 o'clock?
I mean, there's the option to. I don't know why anyone would.
Okay, so faculty can't be cleared because they had opportunity. Is there any regulars who talk to the teller quite often?
Oh, yes, quite. We have many regulars coming in to deposit, withdraw, move stuff.
Was there any that bonded specifically to the teller?
Oh, Howard could chat up a storm with the saddest of drunk. If anything, I think he actually saved someone from moving out of London because they were unhappy.
Intriguing. Do you have that person's name or address?
Unfortunately, I cannot give information like that out because that stuff was to Howard and Howard alone.
So you don't have the information, or you're not giving it?
I don't have it, unfortunately.
Something was taken off Howard. Do you know what that was?
That, if I'm correct, was a copy of the deal he signed, obviously for record and for sorting out, of course. If you wanted to have a look, I could get one of the tellers to grab it for you.
You have the document?
Oh yeah, it's just out back.
Hello? So
Yeah.
I think my Wi-Fi just ended. Do you have the original and he had a copy, or did he have the original and you can...
We have the original. It's just in one of our drawers behind the desk.
That would be lovely to see, thank you.
If you just bear with me one moment then. As he just gets up, he walks out the office heading towards the main tellers. What is it?
No,
Oh, go on.
when you said he was stabbed, like, where, how many?
One fateful blow to the back. Fateful blow to the back.
Okay. Okay.
Good question.
So, what has Quill been doing this entire time?
Would he have, so his passive perception is 21, so would he have clocked, the room that his colleague was going into to interview?
Yes.
After he was done, checking over the crime scene, he'll just go and, join the conversation there.
Right, so as the bank employee leaves, it's a couple seconds, and then Joseph, Anastasia, you see Quill enter the room.
Have you done your sweep yet again?
Yes, there wasn't much.
We didn't expect you to do the first time. You still have that hunch about it?
Something is undeniably off about this. A single document was stolen. Hang on, out of game. Is, just the document publicly available to see if you want to look at what was in it?
It wouldn't be available for any old sod to go and see, no.
The document was stolen. It was just a replica, so if someone wanted to just erase it, then they wouldn't be able to. The only thing I can think is that either they want access to it, or the document isn't the only motive.
Seems like a lot just for a document.
What's worse is it seems premeditated. They had a longer blade than most people carry anyway. There was no obvious motive, and they seemed, and I do air quotes, respected. There was 3 tellers at a time. Some of them were on board. It was busy Monday, or possibly busy. They used the crowd to their advantage. It wasn't pure passion. They didn't panic. Someone would have noticed a panic. Well, they were all panicked.
So they're calm and collected, meditated, and smart?
It wasn't one blow to the back. Isn't as passionate as it sounds. Or calculated. It wasn't
No.
one blow and they blinked. They said one fatal blow.
The back as well, but it's not personal.
You always want to confront someone. Make it special. I'm not sure if the document was a part of a motive or just a distraction. They're getting a copy now, so we can have a look at it. Is there anything in the file which I probably should read that is important?
Nothing that we haven't already gone over.
Was the blade sharp or serrated?
You can see from... Well, you obviously know from the wound that it was a clean entry, clean exit.
Okay.
So after a few minutes, the employee comes back with the document in hand. And he
Just to hold up in the middle of me and Quell.
So obviously he lays it down on the desk for you, allowing you to take it. It is a bill of sale for an area in the district of Whitechapel.
Lovely. How much was it going for, or was it just set it up for sale?
It was... The
Fair enough.
document is very cryptic in its worth and in its actual possessive ownership, but you can see as you skim through it, it was sold for a worth of £20.
Holy, that's like 2 shifts for me. More than that.
All three of you make a
Oh no.
general intelligence check.
Okay.
Oh,
that's not
sugar.
That is a nat 20 plus 5.
Okay,
That is a 12.
well, and Anastasia?
22.
So as you all look over the document, the address is 147 Whitechapel Road. So it's down pretty much the centre of Whitechapel. But hearing that address being read out, all three of you managed to clock that that's not an empty bit of land.
Interesting.
What is it if it's not empty?
It's already got a property on it. The property looks like an ordinary house from your last time visiting the area, especially for Anastasia. It's
Yeah, I was
just...
just going to say, do I deliver there at all? Or around that area?
You deliver around the area. You don't deliver to 147 Whitechapel Road specifically, but you deliver around it. And recalling back to that address, it doesn't seem out of the ordinary. So why would the bill of sale be for something out of the ordinary?
And the tenant was getting kicked out. I think this was how they could get their revenge.
Maybe, but we've already established that it was doubtfully a crime of passion. And I don't see why they would steal the document. Surely they'd have access to it if they were the one who sold it.
If I may be of assistance, I don't know how much it would be to you, but I can give you Howard's address if you wanted to search his home.
That would be much appreciated.
Make sure no one else has searched it before us.
It is 97B. Oh, what was the road? It was not that road, not that road. Oh god. Lambeth Street, that's the one.
Do you know if Howard had any partners or engagements with people?
He had friends, he had colleagues, whether he had lovers and partners, I do not know. You'll probably find more at his apartment.
Okay. Thank you for your time, sir. I reckon you know where we're going next.
Just, please put some closure on this case. Howard was a good man.
We'll try and find all the justice that's due.
Oh, please, let me show you out. As he gets up from the desk, he opens the door and sort of allows you all to leave.
Just as I'm out of edge, I'm just gonna say I fucking hate phones.
So, now back on the street, are you all going to go to 97B Lambeth Road?
Yeah, but can I just say, out of game, I love how Anastasia can't read, but she rolls 10 higher than Toby's character, than like, what's the fucking
She's
name?
intelligent, she just can't read.
She's so intelligent she doesn't need to read.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
If we show you some like ancient Egypt stuff, you'll be able to read it. It's just pictures.
Yeah, hieroglyphics, that's it, Anastasia's got it covered.
Yeah, symbols, done.
Actually, legible words from the English lexicon, fuck off.
Yeah. Also, I do love the way that these like detectives are just letting a random milk
Hold on.
run an investigation.
You are our milkman. You come to our house regularly. Plus, I don't like banks, and Will was off doing something. My character has a disdain for banks.
Would I? Okay, going back to the milkmaid stuff. Would I recognize his house?
This is a little far out of your way. So, like, this is, this area of London, obviously Lambeth it be, is quite far out of your route.
Okay.
But as you spend a good part of the day walking there, obviously crossing over the mighty River Thames and all its industrial glory. You arrive at the address given, and you can see that it is indeed a house split into two. You've got the bottom floor and the top floor. The bottom floor is 97A, the top floor is 97B. You do also see 2 members of the Metropolitan Police standing outside.
Maybe.
Oh no.
Do detectives have badges at this time? Or do we just sort of say we're detectives and they believe us?
I think you would have earned enough of a reputation to go off name alone.
Okay.
But yeah, as they see you coming up, you see him lounging against the side of the house, and then the other one just, like, smacks him on the shoulder as they both then stand against the door.
Slacking off, are we?
Oh, no, sir.
Fair enough. Must be boring guarding that door all day.
Yeah, it is
We find Hawkins.
I would admit it is a bit boring, but we're soldiers. Well, not soldiers, we're officers of the Metropolitan Police. Sorry, I served in Crimea, sir.
We've got ambitions.
Well, I do wish to return to the army, but not in the sense of some lousy war against the Russians.
These are lucky to have you. I'm just gonna walk in.
As all three... Oh, go on.
I'm just so confused why all these police are just letting her in. It just steps in and it's like, okay.
You blend in with the others.
The power of acting like you're meant
It's
to
very
be there
weird
gets
for a
into a lot
woman.
of places.
It's very weird for a woman to just be let in when in an investigation, considering the time we're at.
I feel like if you started going first and do all the talking, we'd probably get kicked out a lot more.
Well, wait. Does Anastasia have, like, a positive charisma modifier?
Yes.
Okay, you're the only one with a positive charisma modifier.
That's amazing. To be fair, as a milkmaid, you can get very social with people.
Yeah.
So, as the three of you walk in, one of the constables goes, "Oh, just so you know, we haven't actually touched the crime scene. An inspector's taken note of everything, but you're free to investigate."
Thank God. How many people have been in there?
3.
Okay. How long have they been on the force?
Since its creation.
Yeah, they should be fine. Sorry, this killer might be smart, so I'm just thinking of everything.
As a keen detective should.
Gonna tip. Do I have a hat?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna tip my hat and just sort of walk in.
So, as all 3 of you walk in, I want you all to make con saving throws.
Oh no.
Which I know for one person, not naming any names, Shiva, is a bit problematic.
Oh, no.
I didn't get a good one, so hopefully Shiva was higher than mine.
I got an 11.
I got a dirty 20.
And what did
I
Joseph...
ruined this for the 6.
So as you open the door into the apartment, my God, Joseph and Griffin, you get whacked with this foul stench of something.
What the fuck? That's worse than my rats. Jesus Christ.
As Anastasia, as you sort of obviously spending a lot of time around Whitechapel, you immediately know what this smell is. So it doesn't affect you as much, and it's the smell of opium.
Okay.
Are we gonna get high as balls?
It's the smell of it. It's like secondhand smoke. It's not going to get you high, but
Okay.
it just reeks.
I was gonna say, whatever that inspector wrote down afterwards is not going to be accurate at all.
I see pretty colours, and the chair's dancing with me.
Anastasia just kind of looks at them and she's like, what are you so...
It's just like something
Well,
died.
Wait, by the way,
It's not
Mark.
human.
Mm-hmm.
Are we in Whitechapel Road or Lambeth Street?
Lambeth Street.
Okay, you said Whitechapel before, so I was a little confused.
Yeah, because obviously Anastasia works in around the north side of London, around Whitechapel.
Oh, okay.
So, getting past the whiff of opium, you end up seeing that the apartment has been turned over by someone.
I'm just gonna yell, are you sure you boys haven't been in?
Absolutely positive, that's how we found it.
Is there anything
I'm,
stolen? Like, can I see valuables around?
Make an investigation check.
Okay, fuck. I'm not a good detective. That's a nat 1. That is a mighty total of 2.
Drawers have been pulled out, cabinets open, bed sheets have been flung, it's a mess.
Can I make that investigation check?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
26.
You can see that by the way this has all been just left open, that whoever was here decided... Well, they didn't decide, they were here for something, but may or may not have found it.
Can I do an investigation check to see if I would see if there was like a woman in his life at all?
Yep, go ahead and make it.
Oh god, I need to do maths. Okay. 23.
Having a look around, you obviously see the bed. It's a little bigger than a single bed. It's more like a double bed. You do see one imprint from where Howard would have slept, and another from where someone else. Not as firm or as indented, but definitely there was someone else in his life.
Okay.
See, I can't do anything there.
Can Anastasia take his notebook and try her best to write someone here with him? And
Go-
it's so bad. She's trying her best.
I'd say, like, obviously, having watched people write before, you sort of think, okay, this is what I have to do for this, but I don't know how to spell that, so it ends up being this sort of chicken scratched writing, but it does sort of allude to some hair.
She hands it back to him. And she's like, don't talk to me. Don't talk about it.
I'm just gonna look at it and smile, and then I'm just sort of gonna mutter to myself, some here,
Can she
something
hear
or
him?
someone. Yeah, I'm not hiding it. I'm just trying to decipher what you wrote.
She kind of just gives up and she's like, I meant that there's someone else who lives here, or has for a little bit of a time.
Interesting. How do you know that then?
Well, not the detective or anything, but there's an imprint on his side of the bed, or what I think is his side of the bed, but then there's another one.
See what you're getting at.
So there has to be another person here.
Quill, was there anything in the file about a partner?
Or anything in the file?
There was no mention in the file of any partner, lover, civil relation to anyone to Howard Davis.
Okay.
No mention of anyone. Can I search the apartment for any signs of, like, someone else having permanent residence there?
Make me both an investigation check and a perception check. Both will be needed.
Can I just go?
Say that again, Toby. Discord cut out for me.
Can I go to the toilet in the house and see if there's any products a man wouldn't use?
Yep. So what were the two rolls?
30 on the investigation,
Perfect.
15 on the perception.
Okay, so having a look around, you start to realise that there's a little more space needed than someone who was living here on their own. Obviously, the wardrobe's a little bigger. The dining table has more than one chair. You then can piece together that there was someone living with Howard up until the point of, obviously, the murder, in which case they have moved residence because this is an active crime scene. With the perception check, you see a few things left behind by this person. Obviously, a few bits of clothing like corsets and dress, along with a... is there like a proper name for those fans that like you can flick out?
It's like a Chinese.
Yeah, Chinese fan. Yeah, you do spot one of them lying on the table.
Can Anastasia pick it up? Is she near here?
Yeah, you can like spot it and pick it up.
Did she pick it up and fan it out and she's like...
Yep.
I mean, she just touched the Christ theme, but we don't talk about that.
The fingerprints aren't important yet.
Yeah.
Joseph,
Yes.
you're making your way into into the lavatory to see if there was any products.
Yeah.
There's very minimal in terms of sort of cleaning equipment. Obviously, complete opposite to anyone who has any affiliation with punk today. But you do notice something very, very wrong.
Go on.
As you look at the sink, you see, obviously knowing Howard Davis and how he kept his hair, you see a couple strands of very finely straightened hair. But it doesn't look, it looks too long to be from Howard's lock, but it's too short to be anyone of the opposite sex, so...
I'm just going to shout, there was a woman.
Hi, can I shout back? Yeah, I think we know that. We found dresses.
I'm just going to say that crosses out gay lovers. Okay. So, there's no product stuff left, it's just the hair and the sink.
Yep, it's just the finely straightened, which you could probably guess to be beard hair.
Hold on. Say that again. The finely straightened hair that was too long to be.
Finely straightened hair that's too long to be from Howard's head, but too short to be from a woman's head, so you can make the assumption that it's from someone's beard.
Okay, never mind. Okay. So I'm just jotting stuff down.
Anastasia, while you're messing around with the fan, make me a perception check.
Okay. Perception, where are you? 16.
Looking down at just in front of the door and seeing it a very small, muddy boot print. Like, too small for any of your feet, including yours, Anastasia.
Ooh.
But the mud itself is obviously dry and seeped into the wood, so this could have been the person that ransacked this place.
I'm imagining right now she has her fan out, but she, like, smacks it shut, and she walks over to it, and she, like, crouches down, just, like, looking at it.
Now, taking a closer look at it, you can see that it gingerly and intermittently does obviously go down the stairs towards the front door. Obviously, it's a lot harder to spot on the way in than it was now.
She shouts back to them, and she's like, "Can one of you write this down?"
I will head over and note it down.
Footprint. Also, not that I'm a detective or anything, but it's weird that there is no record of the woman, right, when she is so evidently in his life.
It is strange. Joseph, I assume that you did question the bank teller on any relations he had. What did he say?
Apparently they didn't know if he had a lover, but given how prevalent the signs that they were hearing, either it was something kept secret or something, or someone higher than the teller I was talking. Either they kept it secret from everyone, or everyone's keeping it secret. You said they've taken their belongings. What kind of stuff has been left behind?
The only things that have been possibly accidentally left behind in the move out from the crime scene were a few corsets and a dress.
Can I look at the size of the dress?
I'll say this now, it could comfortably fit Anastasia.
Oh, okay.
Is it, like, needed for the evidence?
Please. Oh no. Okay.
I know where this is going.
Because that's a nice looking dress.
I don't know what it looks like.
He has a house, so she has a nice dress.
He has a house, so it has to be a nice.
He works in a bank.
Yeah.
He has a nice dress.
He has a nice.
You know what I mean.
What?
I mean, we don't know for sure that it wasn't him wearing them.
That's actually
That's a
really
good
true.
point.
What is everyone's passive perception?
21.
11.
Hold on. 13 as a passive perception.
As you three talk about this, Joseph and Quill,
Yeah.
you notice a small folded piece of paper on the floor, kicked under the cabinet.
I'm gonna go over and track it out.
As you drag it out and unfold it, it's quite obvious in its intent. It reads, "The land is ours, time to fortify. S."
There was nothing about any of that in the file. Seems the land was taken, rather forcefully from the sound of it. Can I see who owned the land before it was sold? Is it on the paper at all?
Having a look at the paper, you obviously see the address of 114.7 Whitechapel Road, and it goes back to the actual land itself goes back to a Mr. Yang Tao, but
I'm not seeing that. Okay.
but the reason for selling the land appears to have been that Mr. Yang Tao hasn't actually been seen entering or exiting the residence in well over a year.
So they thought it was abandoned.
Yes.
Has all the payments been made, or is it just they haven't actually gone in and out?
Payments were all kept up, it's just the only reason was that it appeared to be abandoned.
Let's see. I don't know if they would have actually checked up, or if they just asked people if someone's going on. There could be some less fortunate people holed up in there. When they found out they were going to be put back on the streets, it might have been motive, but it's a bit of a stretch, especially them blending in with the bank. Well, do you know if there's any gangs in this area that would be that protective of their territory?
Are there, Mark?
You would only know of a few local gangs who sort of keep their local gang turf secure, but the closest, big gang would be in the City of London itself, that being the steam yarders who work at the docks.
No gangs that come to mind.
It might not have been that old. I would say that's swing by the pond, but after what happened to poor Howard, I'm not sure I want to go there as is.
We definitely need to investigate it, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get the boys in blue. Can I go outside to try and talk to one of the constables?
Yeah. So as you walk out, obviously they're both still standing there, making sure no one goes in.
We've got all we need. How would you like a change of job?
Change of position. By what means?
You will be taken off guard duty temporarily and put into a bit of a protection.
What sort of protection?
We need to investigate a house, which apparently has some unwanted occupants, and we're not sure how they're going to, if they're there at all.
It's nothing we can't handle. Lead the way.
Can I insight that, in case?
Go on.
What does a 21 get me?
A 21 gets you a slight waver in their voice. Obviously, this is going to be the first potential real part of action that they've seen in a while, but they seem capable of handling it.
Right here. I'm just gonna call upstairs. Have you found anything else, or shall we get a move on?
Nothing else. By the way, Anastasia was talking about stealing the dress. Is it standard, like, detective, like, procedure to take a full inventory of everything in the apartment? Or would they just not notice a missing dress?
They said someone noted everything down, so I just assumed that was done.
Yeah, it's your detective agency. You do it as you please.
No, but, like, there were other detectives that, like, actual cops that did it before, right?
They would have taken a full, like, noted inventory. They wouldn't just, like, ransack the place and take everything as evidence.
I never said anything about stealing. I was talking about borrowing. I just
Okay.
never give it back.
Borrowing on such a long-term basis that the people forget I borrowed it. Duh.
Exactly.
I'm gonna walk upstairs and just try and talk to Quill.
Okay.
This case is definitely odd. Usually we'd have some sort of hypothesis by now, but it's getting a bit annoyingly complicated. We're looking
motive
for... Go on.
Motive is the only lead we can go off, other than maybe the knife, and we still can't string one together.
You were looking at that dress up, and as I looked to Anastasia, it looked like it would fit you. So we're looking for someone around about your size and build. We can take in, I'm going to do accents again, because I don't think there's anyone nearby. I'm going to put for comparison to anyone else we see that could be a suspect.
True. So are we taking the dress?
For evidence, of course, as I pick it up.
Yes! I mean, for evidence.
So out of
Gonna
it, how old is
give-
Anastasia?
That is a very good point.
She's 31.
Okay. So he's not like a nonce.
No,
Left-handers are in their mid-20s to begin with, so they're technically older.
no, she's 31. As a cottons.
Okay. Do you want to head over now, or do you want to have a look around a bit more? Because I feel like we're flying through all the evidence places.
Unless Anastasia is looking to plunder more evidence, I think we can head down to 147 Whitechapel Road.
Right. Alright. You were the one that let me in, okay? So, whose fault is it really?
It is what it is. I doubt that anyone's gonna miss it.
I will.
Even better if someone else comes back and asks for it, then we know who it belongs to.
That is very true. And of course I would give it back.
Insight, absolutely insight.
Go ahead
One
and
of
make
the
a
tactics get me.
Is there any possible way that Anastasia could counter deception that?
I mean, I got a nat 20.
I can certainly try. I got a dirty 20.
Yeah, Toby still wins. Go ahead. What are your true intentions?
I wouldn't give it back. Or I'd fight her to the death for it.
Oh!
Jesus.
I mean, what? Or 7. I want to.
I realise the lengths you would go through in this dress. I'm just going to hand it to you and say, you keep this safe for now.
She like just takes it and hugs it, and she's like, "Okay."
From downstairs, you hear one of the constables go, investigators,
Yes,
What is that?
Constable.
we got Howard's other half out here. Is she okay to come up?
We'll be down in a sec. I'm just going to look at
about
them.
stealing
point
that
at
dress,
the
Anastasia?
Point at Anastasia, point at the dress, and simply like do a tucking motion with my hand. Do you want the dress or not? Hide it or give it
I'm trying to think of a way she can hide it.
back?
How?
Is there a window we could open?
Just throw it out. No, it'll get muddy.
I was going to have my rats carry it somewhere.
I just have, like, the pigeon carry it back.
Yeah, that spooks the shit out of the locals. Imagine just seeing a dress, an empty dress.
Victorian
right
princess.
past.
Jesus. Can't she just throw it out a window? I feel like Anastasia wouldn't do that.
Well, we can do it to confirm it is the other half, because if they don't fit in the dress, must
True, but you can look at her, then look at me.
just not. Can you two quickly stand back to back?
Take off. Anastasia will just take
Whoa.
off her and give it to her and like tie it around your waist.
You cut off for a second, I heard it take off, and I was like, oh.
Whoa, yeah.
Okay.
I said Anastasia would take off her apron and give it to her and go tie it around your waist. If it fits.
So you either what are you doing? You're chucking out the window.
Although, if we do just hide it somewhere until they leave again, because it's still like an evidence scene or whatever, so I assume that they won't be able to just live there for the time being.
Yeah. They've simply come back to take whatever stuff they haven't taken already.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we can just hide the dress and claim that it's been stolen. It's
Anastasia
not.
shoves
We're
it in
hard-
your
hardly
actually
halfway
charge
through the
people.
the first session, and we're already committing crimes.
Some
No,
legit
no,
fucking
no.
detective agency you are.
I mean, I never said I was a detective, so
You've made it very clear you're not a detective. You
I'm
keep
not.
spotting things the detective has missed. Fair. I'm gonna head down to meet the other half.
Okay, so you see them waiting, standing just outside of a small horse and carriage, obviously in a different dress, a little saddened, obviously, because of what's happened, and they just look to you, and as you come out, is it okay if I grab my stuff?
What is the stuff in question?
Oh, only a couple corsets and a dress.
no.
You saw the corsets. Would there be anyone who would be after your dress?
I sure hope not.
So you've taken some of your other stuff. How long ago did you do that?
Well, I was planning a trip to Portsmouth just last week, so everything was already packed by the time I got the word saying that we had to move out.
So do you have an alibi for where you were 2 days ago?
She looks to one of the officers. He was there. He came and asked me to leave.
Can you confirm this?
Yes, I can, sir. Yes, I can. She politely opened the door, offered me a cup of tea. I politely refused, and asked her if it was okay to leave.
Insight. What does a dirty 20 get me?
A dirty 20 gets you that he's telling the truth.
Okay. Roughly how long did you stay in the apartment to gather your stuff? Respectfully, madam.
Oh, I only stayed another 10 minutes. I thought I'd got everything. But it wasn't until we... Well, it wasn't until we hit... Oh, fuck, what's it called? Fuck, shit. Oh! Where's my map of... Where's my map of England?
Reaches into the carriage and just pulls out like a relatively large map of it. Oh, here.
I just imagine he swivels in his chair and it's just on like a wall.
Mark is the evil mastermind. The only civil chair in Victorian England.
It wasn't until we hit Guildford that I realised that I'd forgotten a few things, so if it was going to be a while, I thought it best come back and grab the rest of it.
Officer, what time did you get to the house roughly?
Well, we were reported on a murder about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was about 3 o'clock we came by.
Do you know how long how long did it take to get here from the van?
Well, it was only 20 minutes. A quick march, I must say.
Excuse me. Did you have any cooking at all? Roughly, and I'm just going to give a rough estimate of how big the knife was this long.
Oh, only basic stuff, just stuff to prepare food in the evening, nothing to carve meat as such.
What makes you say meat carving knives?
Well, they're the big ones, aren't they? They're like the big ones you see when you go to the market and there's a butcher's there and he's got this big massive knife that he's carving into meats with.
Can I insight that? Because I know a lot of bread knives which are bigger than some steak knives.
Go for it.
What is a 22? Yeah, what a 17.
She's going off what she knows. She believes, obviously, that obviously the knives you use for cooking meat are bigger than the ones for anything else. So this is purely what she believes.
Okay, I see. Was any of them missing recently?
Say that again, sorry?
Am I still upstairs or am I downstairs?
Do you want to go downstairs?
I want to go downstairs.
You can
Maybe
go
she'll
down-
open
Yeah,
up.
crawl downstairs.
So what was it you asked, Toby?
I forgot now. It's fine. Can I talk to the constable alone? I'm just going to say 1 second.
Yeah, the two of you sort of walk down the street a little bit.
Most crimes are personal to the person. Has she said anything, given off any odd feelings?
Well, I mean, she did cry a lot. Obviously, the death of anyone close to someone, it would spark an emotional response. But she didn't feel like she wanted to leave. She wanted to stay. But I said, for the good of the investigation, you might want to reside somewhere else for the time being.
Can I just do a quick peek at her hand to see if she has a ring on any of her fingers?
She has no rings whatsoever.
I take it the two weren't. Does she stand to gain anything from this death, or only grief?
Nothing to gain from what I see.
Looking at the carriage, is it something a banker could easily get, or is it like a more expensive thing?
Which bit, sorry?
The carriage that they arrived in.
Even though it costs not a lot to get a small carriage, but for obviously renting it to go to Guildford and back, could be a little bit more on the expensive side.
Okay. Would this be something you could make with like a banker's salary or from their debt?
Potentially, obviously with saving up and all that.
Okay. So they're obviously quite well off. Either that or it's an insurance scam. I'm gonna call for Quill.
Quill's gonna come over.
What are you getting from all this? I don't think that woman has it in her to kill their partner. They seemed quite well off. I don't think it was money problems.
The constable is there, right?
Yes.
So, how much does she know about the exact circumstances of the murder?
Well, obviously she knows he was killed with a knife, but other than that, it's all a mystery to her. She doesn't know who would have done it, why they would have done it, only that he was pretty happy about securing the deal. I'm sure you know about that from the bank.
Who knows about the deal?
Did she just know that it was a knife, or did she know about that it was a notably large
She
knife?
seemed adamant. Well, I asked her if she's seen the knife, and I'm just going to do the hand thing again, trying about this size. And she immediately went to a meat carving knife. Is there any butchers near the bank where someone could easily get a meat carving knife?
No, not that I would say.
Wait, so in the case file, was there an image of the knife?
There was. It was loosely sketched out, obviously, from witnesses, but you can see that it's obviously a long
The
knife.
knife not left in the corpse. Was it taken with the killer?
Yes, it was taken with the killer.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Notes.
But you hear people describe it as obviously a long knife, obviously enough to go through the body. The handle, a small handle with a small little pummel on the end, and sort of like hand decorations.
Okay.
By hand decorations, do you mean
What do you mean?
decorations that look like hands?
No, I mean like hand Chinese.
Oh!
that
That was just crazy.
that was so. Oh.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
No, it was perfectly normal. I can't speak Chinese. Do we have anyone who does speak Chinese?
I can read all languages.
You would have some knowledge of Chinese. It'd be basic, but you would have some knowledge.
So when you say decorations, are there any symbols or letters that we can make out on the knife?
It's mainly just traditional Chinese symbols, if that helps at all.
So it has more ornaments on it. So it is either a very expensive knife, so more of a ritual or symbolic.
You could say that, yeah.
What was the name of the owner of the house again? Oh god, that's even. Sorry, one second.
Howard Davis.
Okay. No, the one that owned the house that Howard sold.
Oh, that
Yang Tao?
yeah, one Mr. Yang Tao.
Pow or Pow? That P-A-O or P-A-O?
Yangtow.
Thank you. Ooh. On the knife, how big does the handle actually look like? Is it one-handed or is it possibly two?
One-handed.
Okay, so it's not like a small sword.
No.
I want to think of what kind of knife it could actually be. Is it a straight back on the edge, like a normal cooking knife, or is it double-sided?
It is. Yeah, it is only got one sharp edge, and it is straight on the other.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Does it look like it's made out of metal? Is there any other materials in it apart from the like? I'm assuming wooden.
You see it's made of, obviously, well, you could visualize it being made, obviously, a steel blade, a sort of carved wooden handle, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yang Tao, is it a Chinese name?
It's definitely Eastern. I'm not sure about that.
I'm just asking if it's specifically Chinese because there are a few things more British than like generalizing the entirety of Asia to just a single thing.
It could be Korean or Japanese. Well, we know it could be quite a lot.
So like, is it a Chinese name?
Yes.
Okay.
For this person, it is a Chinese origin.
Okay. Do I know any more, like family-wise? Do I know anyone belonging to that family?
No.
Okay.
All you know is that Mr. Yang Tao resides, or supposedly resides, at 147 Whitechapel Road.
Can I search that name, see if there's any other like registered addresses?
Say that again. Sorry, my mind exploded then.
If I go back to the office, can I search their name for any other registered like addresses they could be staying at?
You could potentially, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna look at. Also, I'm gonna go back to the office, see if they have any more addresses they could be staying at.
Okay, so Joseph's going back to the office. What are Quill and Anastasia going to do?
Probably best not to split the party all the time, so I'll go with Joseph.
Hang on, I'm going for a piss.
And that is Anastasia's fun life.
Oh wait, no. Actually, before we go, we have to retrieve the dress. I mean, I assume Anastasia will want to, so I guess we will just be like waiting for them to leave.
Yeah, as you both go to leave, it's like, wait, Anastasia in the dress.
Crime.
I don't think they're actually going for a piss. I reckon they just wanted to go find the dress.
Yeah,
Just like finding it somewhere in the back alley. It's just
yeah,
around the hitch.
yeah. It's like, hold on, guys, just gotta go for a piss. Oh, look at this dress I found! Isn't this lovely?
Just that's fine. Finders keepers. Oh, so they ran off with my dress.
Finders keepers.
the one.
Yeah, it's a little muddy, but
Right, I'm back.
right. Are you gonna
Did you get
retrieve?
your dress?
Yeah. Did you get your dress? Love.
Of course, I did.
There we go. So are the three of you gonna head back to the office?
Is this woman just still there?
No, she obviously after a brief period of waiting, she was let up. She grabbed her corsets. She couldn't find the dress, suspiciously, but she could make do without, so she returned to the carriage and returned on her merry way to Guildford.
Okay, cool. I just felt bad just yeah, I followed them.
Right, so as the three of you make your way back to 13 and 12 Barter Street, you sort of run over the notes, you sort of remind yourself of everything that's there. As you reach the door, you unlock it, head inside. It's still a tip, because why bother cleaning stuff? Just before we go to Joseph looking through the files, is there anything Quill and Anastasia are going to do back at the office?
I clean
Yeah?
because
Oh, no.
she can't
Oh,
deal
no.
with an like clean workspace.
So what exactly is it that Joseph is looking for?
He's looking for any other registered properties under the name of Mr. Yang Tao.
I'm probably helping, like, searching through that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, Anastasia, as you walk into the office, obviously you know it to be a tip, but now actually being here for some reasonable degree of time, you look around, and it appalls you to see it have gotten in this state.
Lovely.
She mutters to herself, God, if they were in the workhouse, this would have not happened.
So, as you crack on with, like, tidying and, like, getting it to some sort of organised level, the two of you, Joseph and Quill, you search through all the records you have. You find, obviously, the list of properties in Whitechapel that you have, and you flick through them at a reasonable speed. After about 5-10 minutes, you don't see any other properties owned by Mr. Yang Tao. Just that 114-7 Whitechapel Road.
Is there any mention of him in the cases we've done in the past?
Make an investigation check, because you're looking for a specific detail.
And
And if, yeah, either you can both roll individually, or one of you can roll with advantage.
Sheila, take advantage.
Yay.
As if they need it.
No, I only have a +1 to investigation, so it's probably better they get advantage.
Okay, that is a 27.
Frickin',
Maybe they'll roll 10 or something.
flicking through like previous investigations focusing on Whitechapel specifically, you go through a couple, and then you do come across one very in particular one. It's about more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Proof of ownership against some false claims made against Mr. Yang Tao that he apparently stole the land and set up an opium den under the building, and some man only by the name of the buyer was trying to claim back the property, but ultimately had no grounds to do so because there was no infringement in the first place.
Let me just note that down.
Okay. I'm just gonna ask Anastasia if they recognize the name Yantar. Sorry, Yantar.
Do I?
Make a history check.
Oh god. I don't know why I get scared every single time I have to do a check.
And you just thought me DMing you was going to be scary. Correct.
No, just anyone DMing me is scary.
I feel bad if they keep shoving checks onto people.
The person making the false opium den claim, they were the previous owner of the property, right?
They were allegedly the owner of the property, but because they couldn't prove that Yang Tao had committed any sort of offence, then there was no need to continue the case, as it was...
Was it proven they were the owner, or did they just claim to be the owner?
They claimed to be the owner to try and force Yang Tao out.
Did Yantar have evidence?
They did.
Okay.
As much as it can be considered a receipt.
Okay. See, we don't have credit cards, so we can only assume that it was the receipt belonging to Yantar. Out of the game, how easy would it be to forge this?
Say that again, sorry?
How easy would it be to forge this?
If you knew what you were doing, pretty easy, but if you were just doing it for the first time, it could be incredibly difficult.
Okay.
Is there a name of the person who claimed that the property was being used as an opium den?
It's just marked... the original quote-unquote owner was only stated as an S buyer.
S.
Immediately would have been that note out.
Oh.
I got 22.
S was how the land is ours, nothing to fortify was signed, wasn't it?
It was signed by an S, yeah.
Oh, hold on, that wasn't a note. It's the land is ours, time to fortify S.
Ah.
And with that 22 on history, you do recognize the name Yang Tao. You hear it, obviously, on your rounds going to and from different streets, how many people mention that they're going to go to Yang Tao's later or in the evening. Other than that, you haven't seen a Mr. Yang Tao, but that is what you know.
Okay.
So, have they told us this, or do they just know this?
Well, I directly asked. I can't remember.
Have you heard of the name Yan Tao before?
I've heard of it on my rounds. People mentioning that they're gonna go to his later. But I've never seen him or talked to him directly.
Earlier, when we went into that house, there was that smell of drugs, or what I assumed to be drugs. It's not natural. It's not worse than the rat shit. You didn't seem that fazed by it. How often do you come across it?
Well, it's everywhere on my rounds, so I'm kind of used to it.
So the people you do rounds to also use said substances as they do together.
I don't really like to pry. I just kind of drop the milk and go. So
I'm just trying to figure out if this person was a supplier or...
yeah, I mean,
Specifically the supplier.
would I be able to tell at all? Would I know this?
Having put pieces together, obviously, that Yang Tao was heard and not seen, that their property allegedly has an opium den under it, you can sort of make the clue that this person is running the opium den.
Okay. I mean, from like just putting pieces together, people always said that they're going around his. So I'm guessing he was a supplier, but this is all speculation. I don't know.
Most of detective work is speculation until it's proven fact. I can't speak. I said that wrong horrifically. Okay. Do you want to check out Yang Tao's place, or do you want to see if there's any more else we're going to look at? Well,
It's probably the logical conclusion to at least take a look at Whitechapel Road.
Okay. Can I collect? Do I have like a big waistcoat I could put on?
Yeah.
Can I just have all the rats hide in the waistcoat, head out?
Let me just do something real quick. Give me a moment.
Oh no.
Are you
Okay.
just stuffing rats into a waistcoat to see how many fit?
Hopefully all of them.
How many rats have you got?
I
Five.
can roll for this.
Oh God.
How much? How much does something need to be in order for it to be considered a swarm?
Let me check.
Yeah, let's just quickly Google how many rats is a swarm of rats.
No, but do you mean like the D&D monster swarm of rats?
I don't mind. I just need an amount of rats which can be classified as.
I feel like
As
Anastasia's
like pop-
now. You've got rats. Someone else
I
has got.
have rats. Yes.
Anastasia's got no one. But she needs a
And
little.
dress.
I do have a dress.
I'm saying instead of stuff once.
Yeah. Okay. I like the dress.
So, considering that rats have 1 HP and the average HP of a swarm of rats is 24, I assume 24?
About 24 rats. Okay.
I'm not gonna. If it was a low number like 4 or 5, I was gonna roll to see how easy they could hide. But like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do a general roll.
Do you want me to just... Okay.
So about half of them managed to hide themselves comfortably.
I'm just gonna like look around very quickly. Do we have like a bag or anything they could try and fit?
You have a hat.
I do have a hat. How many rats can I fit on my head?
3 max.
Depends how much brain matter you're willing to sacrifice.
So you said half of them fit in, so that's 15. Ooh, 15 out of 24. What can I do with the others?
Trouser
That's-
pockets? Boot pockets?
Boot pockets. What if I step on them back?
But like, there might be pockets on the side of your boots. Cargo socks.
What the hell?
They're a real thing.
Are you sure? I'm slightly
Yeah.
concerned how you know they're a thing. Is this what you do?
You
You just sort of like go on your online shopping? It's like, yes, I'll go shop. Socks.
To be honest, it's probably on Shein somewhere.
Is there like an umbrella thing you can just sit in and just hold the umbrella upside down?
You would have an umbrella for when it's rainy outside, yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna put the rest of them in the umbrella and hold the umbrella so they don't fall out. If that makes sense. Just have it upside down. I'm just gonna carry it.
Yeah.
So, I have
So,
a question.
okay, go on.
If Anastasia were to put on the dress, would she then be able to fool people into believing that she was higher class than she was?
Potentially, yes.
Okay, but is walking around with the dress that's just gone missing really a good idea?
No, because like there's multiple dresses of the same dress.
Yeah, but they saw you at their house.
This is very true. she just walked past and she's like, no, this isn't a new dress.
Just dye it green and hope for the best.
Well, considering it is already kind of a mint green dress, how much green could you get?
Sage.
Fair enough.
Neon green.
Anastasia would not be caught dead in neon green.
Just never lost at night time. Disadvantage and stuff.
High vis dress.
No.
You would never lose her.
You'd never want to be seen with her either.
Do they want to be seen with
Well,
her now?
we wouldn't be noticed that much. Just if someone was glowing on the street, I wouldn't really care who was next to them. I would just sort of be shocked that someone's glowing. Then again, I am a person with rats in my waistcoat.
Yeah. Okay. Dang it, I wanted to put the dress on, but never mind, because otherwise we'll just get found out really easily.
Well, you would get found out very quickly.
Yeah, but you let it slide.
Yeah, we'd be marked as accomplices.
Okay.
And like, I don't think that would be great for us, considering that it was stolen from an ongoing investigation that we were given permission to participate in. I'm not sure if they'd
Well,
be
we got that. It just wasn't
It's alright. It's alright.
If you don't look into it, it's so much easier, isn't it?
there.
If you just let me wear the dress.
Out of game, how often are the bins empty? Like, big bins in old London?
Oh, God.
What a question. They'd be emptied into the Thames, wouldn't they?
I was going to look in the bins for any discarded knives. I am not wading through river Thames looking for one knife.
I mean, it's full of poo as well, so probably not.
Hmm.
I mean, there was a period in London called the Great Stink.
Yeah, when
Yep.
the Thames disappeared and all this
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Public health, like, maybe we should sort that out.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't actually state, like, when... I guess it's just like everyone does it themselves.
Okay, can I check the bins near the bank, see if there's any discarded knives in any of them?
Okay, so you're going to go back to the bank.
You two go to Whitechapel or whatever and have an idea.
I was gonna say, do you want me to fish around in the garbage? Because Anastasia already looks like a mess.
Okay, but
Sure.
also Joseph is the one who associates himself with just 24 rats.
Okay, true.
I
That
think
is
he'd
true.
be
Roll
more
of
at home
rat
in the
and
garbage.
Pretty true. Forgot about the rat thing.
It's not a little rat thing, it's just like a side hobby.
So, Quill and Anastasia are going to go to Whitechapel while Joseph's going to go back to the bank and check the bins, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll stick with Torbe for now.
Okay.
You obviously head back to the bank. You do a nice search of the perimeter. You do see where, like, they dispose of the rubbish, quote unquote, dispose of the rubbish. That sharp. Sharp.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
We'll see this later when it's released, don't worry. It'll be timestamped.
it will be timestamped, yes.
Disposed.
Sharp.
Come on. Has the knife been disposed of or not yet?
Fuck's sake, Toby.
Or has it?
I can't stop laughing because you're taking a piss.
I'm sorry, okay? It was funny. And it's here now, and it's probably here to stay.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
too late to take it back.
Oh. So,
It's glorious, don't worry, it's fine.
you have a look around at where all the rubbish is put. You sift through a little bit of it just to see if you can feel anything heavy like a knife. All you get is clunky bits of machinery, some bits here and there, but you don't see any murder weapon.
Hold on. Okay. Can I use a spell? I'm going to try and reskin it as best as I can so it fits.
Okay, what is it you're going to use?
Locate object. Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. Does that count as looking at the picture in detail?
Yeah,
don't
I would say this is reskinned Eagle Vision from Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
I mean, this does take place 5 years before Assassin's Creed Syndicate, so
Fair enough.
yeah.
So, instead of sensing the object's direction within 1,000 feet, can I just have one of my rats try and sniff it out and just follow the rat?
So you obviously are you getting them from under the coat, the hat, or the umbrella?
I'm just gonna pretend to tip my hat and let one of the rats fall into the bin, and then ask them to sniff it out, or get them to.
So obviously, as you tip the hat, they go boom into the bin, and you spend a bit of time. You describe it to them, and they start sniffing around. The trail takes them away from the bank, and you follow them as they start running through the nearby streets. It's a bit of a wind. It takes you through quite a fair bit of the Strand, but eventually the rat does come to a stop at a random bin about half a dozen streets away.
About, did you say half an hour away from the bank?
No, half a dozen streets.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna check the bin for them.
So as you sift through, you'll obviously know what you're looking for, as then this glint of light reflects off something. You reach down into it, and lo and behold, a blade with dried blood, with hand Chinese markings on it, and a ornate one-handed handle is in your grasp.
Bingo. I'm just going to make my way to the Whitechapel house. I
Right.
want to do a proper sketch of it properly, so you can get all of the finer details down of the blade.
Okay, so you can do that on the walk. The other two.
Yeah.
So, you obviously make your way from the office across the backbone of the city of London to Whitechapel. It's a pretty big hellhole, as Whitechapel was at the time. Obviously, Anastasia, you know this place very well. But you're not here for just the normal rabble of crowds. Obviously, the shouting, the screaming, the drunks, and the prostitutes that are accompanying the streets. You're here for one address in particular. As you make your way down the many roads, obviously with Anastasia as sort of a helping hand, you find yourself at the location that the deed says, obviously 147 Whitechapel Road. And you do see it as a normal 3-story house, buildings to the right, buildings to the left, buildings behind, but This place does look abandoned.
I'ma just go into the building and have like a general look around.
Okay, surprisingly, the front door is open. There's not a lot on the first floor. It's mainly just like it's just a table, some chairs, a little kitchen area, nothing too fancy. The second floor houses mostly beds, and the third floor much the same.
Okay,
So there's
if-
nothing of note.
Nothing in the main building itself, no.
Would I be able to smell
Make
what
an
was there?
Make an investigation check with advantage because you obviously know the smell and you know what roughly you're looking for.
I've got a good nose on me. Ooh, I forgot how good my investigation is.
Why is yours better than mine? I only have a +1.
I have a +11.
Because for some reason my intelligence yeah, my intelligence is +4. So
I'm not the
28.
brightest detective in the channel.
A 28. So standing on the lowest floor, obviously knowing that this is the most likely place to hit the smell, you sort of just let any smells waft your way as eventually your nose does hook on to the smell of burning opium as it leads you out the back of the house to this sort of pseudo extension that goes down into the cellar of the property.
Are you getting Quill before you follow there?
I don't even tell you. I just go.
They're just like there's...
Lovely.
So as Anastasia goes out, you obviously are met with a traditional Whitechapel opium den. It's very ornate, very Mandarin, very Han culture. As you go down, you see a load of people, some of whom you do recognize, just passing around these ornate opium pipes, one to another, just zenning, as best I can put it.
Do they notice me at all?
They do notice you, but the amount of people that come and go from this place, it's nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay. Can she like pretend to like go down and be like into what they're doing?
So wait, you're going to try and just mingle with them?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you go down the last set of stairs, you don't get any like calls, any greetings, anything like that. It's just people going like, oh, of just relaxation, their mind just going places, stuff like that.
I'm glad you said that was relaxation because I got scared for a minute.
I did say this is an opium den. There are other buildings in Whitechapel where you'll also find that noise.
Thank you.
No, you don't thank someone for that. That's not.
Okay. God. She kind of just looks around. Like she doesn't say anything. She just looks around. Does she like notice anyone that she would be like wary of at all?
The people
walked into a drug den, sat down and tried to mingle, and you wouldn't be wary of it.
ultimately the people that currently reside around you, you've seen about in the streets many times, but in this environment, in their condition, they're in no real state to be any threat.
Okay.
Okay, good. I'm not dealing with that today.
Always.
She's just looking around and like, can I see anything that would help us at all?
Make me a perception check. While you do that, Quill,
Yes?
you return from your investigation of the upper floors, and you have lost Anastasia.
Is there any sign of where she went?
You didn't hear the front door open a second time, so you gather she went out the back.
I trust that she knows what she's doing. Like, if it takes ages for her to come back, then I'll have a look for her. But I'll just leave a note to say that, like, I'll be checking around here for a basement, so if I am gone, it's because I found one. So I'm just gonna go looking for, like, any trapdoors or just any stairs, like, any hidden entrance to, like, a basement or another part of the building.
Go ahead and make me investigation. So what did you get on the perception, Anastasia?
I got a natural 20, which then is 21.
So, you obviously having a look around after having, like, the knife described to you by Joseph. This is very, very similar in decor. So you can see that whoever killed the person came from this place.
Do I have anything I can write on at all?
Would
What are you
you?
doing?
Yeah. For someone who can't read or write,
She isn't writing.
would you have a bit of paper on you and just like a bit of, I don't know, chalk or graphite?
She
Something
would,
like that?
she would probably have paper of like the list of names that she has to deliver to, and probably like something to check them off.
I love the fact that you probably don't even read the names. You've just done the route so many times. You're just like, yeah, I've been to that one.
Well, it's pretty funny because she can't read the names.
Are
she
you
just she just
this? How do you say that? Just want you showing the list to every single person. Just which one are you?
which one? Yeah, can she draw?
Yeah. Well, you can just sit there
So
and
she
just start sketching it out.
Yeah. Would she get a little bit high from the second? Because if they're in a room just full of smoke, would
Yep.
she get like high?
Make
Great.
make a con save for me.
Okay. Oh no!
What did you get?
Like a 2.
You got a 7.
Not bad.
Your head is
Horrendous.
your head is starting to go places. Not nice
Oh,
places
good.
either.
Not nice, but
Thankfully,
What?
we're not on the other kind of building.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what being under the influence of opium's like, but I don't think it's good.
I wouldn't know.
Incredibly addictive as well. Which is
Yeah.
the best.
Well, opium is the stuff they make heroin out of. And it's the stuff that the British East India Company funneled into China en masse just for tea.
I like
I
how
know
this
about
day
this.
Brit's gotta do what a Brit's gotta do.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Maybe not this though.
it's all for justice.
Yeah,
It's
all in the name
All
of
for
justice.
tea.
How good is her drawing, considering?
It starts off decent. It progressively deteriorates, but it's still got something to it.
Okay, cool. And she get out of there. Like she wants to leave now. She's got what she wanted.
Yep. You just walk out as you exit the opium den into the semi-fresh air of industrial London. What did you get on the investigation, Shiva?
28.
You don't see, other than the staircase at the back in the garden, which goes down into the cellar, you don't see anything else that is remotely suspicious. But by the
I'll-
time,
I'll check out the staircase. Sorry.
yeah, by the time you obviously check everything and make sure everything's all good, you do see Anastasia start to warble her way out.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Right. Did you find anything down there?
She just kind of like shoves the paper to him.
I'll take a look at that.
That
So
knife.
So yeah, you do see, obviously it's very reminiscent of Mandarin and Han culture, progressively getting worse as the drawing continues, presumably because of the fumes from inside, but it does match with the knife that Joseph ad hocly sketched out.
So it's an actual drawing of like a knife that she found there.
No, it's just the decor and designs of like
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
So I
You're welcome.
assume they were
Are
like.
you sure you're okay?
Never better.
Can I insight that or am I not there? I can't remember.
You're not there yet. You're making
You're
your way.
following your rat.
Sounds like a disease.
Rat Followers Anonymous.
Don't start a charity up for my character, please. Or some sort of organization. The admin must be very upset that I'm the only person that turns up to meetings.
So, is Quill and Anastasia going to wait for Joseph to arrive?
Yeah.
So,
When you say the opium has effect on me,
it's calmed you. So, it's not like sent you loopy. It's calmed you. It's sort of made you a little drowsy. It's not sent you high, of course.
Mhm.
But it's been enough to sort of relax you.
okay, so she's just like chill now. Cool, thank you.
So it's about 5-10 minutes until eventually you hear the front door open, and Quill, Anastasia now having sort of woken up a bit after the secondhand smoke, you see Joseph walking through the door.
You find anything?
The birthday. the thing we were looking for, as I hold up the knife.
Ah, where was it?
6 or 7 streets away from the bank in a bin. Don't want to talk about how I found it. It's here. Investigate.
Looking at the knife, can I read what, like, the symbols say?
The symbols aren't really Chinese language, it's more just decorative, but you do, like, obviously take the knife and inspect it once over, and you do see a name written on the hilt, which says Yang Tao.
Name here is Yan Tao, and Anastasia found designs reminiscent of this dagger in the den down there.
was really pleasant.
Yang Tao killed Howard.
We can pay him a visit, but it's quite possible that he is just being framed. We still don't know who this S buyer is.
That is a good point. This was his only address. I'm assuming he's not in if you two are down here.
Couldn't find anything.
Might as well give it a crack. Can I have a look around?
An investigation check.
Let's see if I get... That's a 12.
You look around the house, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. Taking a look outside, oh, there's a staircase going down under the house. Other than that, it's all good.
Have you guys checked the staircase that way?
Ask Anastasia. She's the one that went down.
Yeah.
Can I remember this is a crack den, or do I have to roll history for that?
You would know by everything that's happened that this is leading down into the opium den.
I'm just gonna put my trench coat up to my face and walk down.
What about the rats, though? Are they just all going to be on opium?
Yes.
Oh, please don't make opium-filled rats.
Well, they won't be as obvious because they won't be moving as much. They'll just be sleeping. It's better than all of my clothes moving in odd directions and making noises.
What if they get addicted?
Well, then I'll just have to keep coming back to collect. They're just going to be opium addict rats. I'll either have to have a small humidifier. We don't even have Victorian humidifiers I can put opium in. I would just have to get opium for my rats, which just sounds horrendous.
Just dehumidify the rats.
That is
What am I
genuinely
going to do?
awful.
I can't make them all little mats. That would take me ages.
Just,
It would be adorable.
that's not that much that you will find there, so just go in and out before they get a lifelong addiction.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make it quick. I'm gonna cover my face when I'm going down. Probably try and close the trench coat up as much as possible. I'll leave the umbrella outside just in case.
So, are you going down alone?
Unless anyone else wants to join me again.
I'll go and check it out with
I'll-
him.
I'll stay outside then.
Okay. You look after the umbrella of rats.
You want me to look after your rats?
To be fair, they're quite low maintenance. They'll just sit in there and sleep.
How many
Well,
is there again?
There's 50.
12 of my trench
umbrella
coat
No, wait,
is
it's-
in my house. So that's 15. So
How many in the umbrella?
round about 9.
Holy
Yeah.
moly. Okay.
Also, I'll leave Galileo outside.
What your
What
opinion
am I
is
in
about
sleep
that?
for now?
I mean, you're a milkmaid. You have experience with animals, I'm assuming.
No, she delivers the milk. She doesn't harvest them.
I actually do milk the cows actually,
Okay.
See? I did not know that, but thank you.
if I'm honest.
Hopefully you have good animal handling, otherwise it's going to be a mess when we come back up.
Plus 1?
You'll be
Probably
fine.
fine.
Okay. I'm guessing we're both heading down then.
Yep.
So, as the pair of you head down, you do obviously get hit with the same stench of opium as you did going into Howard's apartment. You do see a load of patrons just stoned out of their minds, passing around opium pipes. But unlike when Anastasia entered, you see a shortish man open a door at the back and sort of peep out and just look at you two before closing the door again.
This isn't Yan
Um,
is it?
You
Well,
don't
they're
know?
less high than the others. Either that or they're the paranoid type of high. So, can I insight whether they looked high as balls or not? Or was that something else?
That would be a perception.
Oh, lovely.
Can I make
That
the same
is-
check?
Yep.
What does a 22 get me?
We'll see what Shiva rolls.
I got a 25.
So you can both see that this person wasn't stoned.
Okay.
Instead,
High,
you can tell that they're sort of under the mantra of "Don't get high off your own supply."
I'm gonna go see if I can open that door.
As you go to the door, it's hard to open, as if it's locked.
Is it locked or is it just as if it's locked?
It is locked.
Okay.
I'm just gonna knock on the door.
Just having flashbacks to like the second session of Adonis, where we spent like 5 minutes trying to open a door, and then someone's just like, "Is it locked?"
Well, it wasn't. For those who were fortunate enough to not get stuck in stuff like that, it was very fun. But, like,
Anyway,
you could kick down.
So as you knock on the door, you don't get an answer.
I'm going to knock again a bit harder.
You still don't get an answer.
Do I have any money on me?
I can pick locks, you know.
I would say you have about £2 on you and a pound's worth of shillings. So that's 12 shillings.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the currency. I know of the currency, I'm just not sure how much they're worth. How much is a shilling worth back in these days?
A shilling is 20. Well, in today's standards, a shilling is 5 pence, but back then a shilling was 20 pence. There was 20 pennies to the shilling and 12 shillings to the pound.
Say that again?
20 pennies to the shilling, 12 shillings to the pound.
So the pound was worth 120 pence back then. Okay. Odd, but okay. Can I just...
120 or 240?
240.
Oh god. Ignore me, sorry. Can I put up 5 shillings and say whoever can get this door open gets the money?
As you say that, you see everyone like try and scramble up, obviously in a delirious state. Because 5 shillings, that's near enough a day's work for a labourer. So everyone's running for it, as then they all just pile into the door, as you just see them one by one go dum 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 into the door, as it sort of just begins to like push inwards, and you can see like a gap starting to form in the doorway, as then eventually this really big gentleman just comes wandering up and just almost bomber styles runs into the back of them. The door goes flying down, everyone's like groaning in pain, but you see a small office room, like very, very Chinese culture and Chinese style, as then you see behind the desk the short man like hiding behind his chair.
I can pick locks, you know.
Yeah, but they make it more interesting. And I'm just going to put the 5 shillings on the pile of them and say, you can sort that out between you lot.
Oh,
I'm going to
God.
walk into the room.
I'll walk into the room too.
So
I see just hear a bunch of bangings from downstairs.
yeah, while this is going on, Anastasia,
Mm-hmm.
having to handle a fair few rats and a pigeon, make me an animal handling check.
No.
Yarp.
Why have you done this to me?
What do you mean? Why have I done this to you?
Oh no! I got a natural one!
You were the one who wanted to stay up top, okay?
I didn't want to get high again, okay? The more you go down, the more you get addicted.
So, with that natural one, which makes it a total of 2, if I'm correct?
Yeah.
Chaos. Absolute
My hair's a
chaos.
I've been shat on.
At least you didn't wear the nice dress.
This is my, like, only good dress. And now it's ruined because of your
I can
animal.
just imagine like Tilty Masking,
Yeah.
like blown away by the pigeon and just getting dropped off turning.
If anything, the pigeon is doing a better job at trying to handle the situation as they're trying to fly around and corral all the rats, but they're just not staying, and you're just there, like, frilling your hair up, and it's just not going to plan, and then you just hear this from down below.
Anastasia's like, I don't know where to go. Do I go to the rats or do I go to the sound?
It's your choice.
I go to the sound.
Okay,
Get away
so,
from the rats.
so leaving the rats for but a moment, you head on down to see Joseph and Quill entering into a small office at the back with a pile of everyone you looked upon just in the doorway with this really big Whitechapel worker on top of them all.
For the record, it was him who did it, as I just gestured to Joseph.
Can
Right.
Joseph call back his rats by having a small tune?
Please don't. Haven't you traumatized me enough?
Well, if they're just coming back, I don't want to all disappear.
So,
Mark,
yep.
by, like, just curiosity, is it, like, men and women in here, or is it just men?
There's a couple women. It's very male dominated because obviously the men make the money, the men spend the money, but there are a few women here.
Okay.
It feels so weird having to like go back to a male dominated society.
That's where I was like, it's so weird that they're just letting her in.
I have to keep remembering
even-
this. Oh, anyway.
So did I manage to call the rats in with the tune or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Once they
You just hear a
obviously,
small like German lullaby as they all come running in.
yeah, they just all run in. They return to Joseph's safety. Oh, now my time to do a Chinese accent.
Yay!
Are you ready to get cancelled?
Oh, why couldn't I have just made it some chav from Lambeth?
Just,
Why don't we all just imagine a Chinese accent?
or just
Use
use like a
imagination.
Chinese accent like synthesizer.
Edited.
Because then it wouldn't be authentic. No, I'm not doing that. No. So everything I say as Yang Tao, I will say it in a different English accent, but it will be for the purposes of this crazy thing called imagination. Chinese.
I don't know what yours.
After all, as we all know, China isn't actually real. We'll just have to imagine it there.
Okay.
So anyway, you have the office open. You've got Yang Tao cowering behind the chair.
I assume you're Yang Tao?
Yes, I am Yang Tao.
Not easy person to find. I'm gonna hold up the knife and say, I believe this is you.
You see him squint and just lean forward, like around the chair. And what is that?
There was a knife found in the back of a bag.
With your name on it.
And it
That's
matches
tied to
your tattoo.
Look, I have perfect reason for everything. Just take.
You have a good reason for blood-stained knife in an opium den.
I can explain. The reason behind it is they tried to rob me of my building. Again.
You mean opium?
Oh, did you just admit?
Maybe.
Out of game? I'm very confused because we have a few more sessions.
There's more
Hold on.
crimes. There's more crimes, don't worry.
I think-
We just accidentally speed ran it.
I mean, in character, we wouldn't know this, but just there's like at least another 4 sessions, so it's not going to be, oh, the person whose name is on the knife is the one who did it.
Yeah, don't worry. This is all tying into a much larger plot. Don't worry.
Oh.
This is just like that starter quest that everyone has to be sat through that involves goblins as enemies.
It's not an escort quest, so it's amazing. So I'm just gonna look at Quill and just go, they did just admit, didn't they?
I mean, I think it's probably better than trying to explain how it isn't his opium den.
I'm just gonna look back at it and just like do the hand gesture, like with the knife in my hand. So just to recap, this is your opium den. This is your knife. You have killed him, but because he tried to take away your opium den.
Yes, I am owner of this building.
Not for long.
And
Twice.
who is?
Twice now people have tried to steal my home, and twice I will not allow it.
You haven't been seen going in or out of this building.
I am secretive, as you
Hermit, but okay.
English would say.
I'm gonna hold up the note which says time for fortify. Who is Esquire then?
That was the first person who tried to buy this place from me. I do not know who, but they wanted it. I do not know why.
And poor Howard tried to steal it how?
He sold it from under my back. Not once did he come to me until after the deed was done.
So you stabbed him in the back.
Yes, the same way as he did to me.
What did you steal the document for?
So then it could not be replicated.
You do realise
But
that was a
you-
copy.
Well, I am not leaving my home. I have not given this up. I will not give this up.
You committed murder. Opium dens, we can't really stop them. We'd much rather have people like you run them, because to be honest, it's not very well run. Well, oddly decorated, not well run. These people were willing to give you up for a few shillings. I reckon you're going to leave this place, either in cuffs or a bit bruised and in cuffs. So it's up to you.
I am not leaving my home. No.
Look, either we do
Right.
it the easy way or the hard way. And I
Anastasia.
don't think you like the hard way.
Do you mind go getting a few pipes from the other room, please?
I think
Just-
we've gotten them involved enough. Surely we should fetch the police.
We'll go get the police. I'm going to try and calm this guy down a little bit. I don't really fancy a bit of a fisticuff at the moment.
We don't need the police though. We can just arrest him ourselves, right? We don't need to bring the police involved.
He has one knife. I'm not going over there when he might have another one. I'd much rather him be calm and high his balls before I go in.
Yeah, but we don't need the police.
Can I whisper in German and then cast mage, or just have one of the rats go get a pipe from the other room.
Yep. So as you do, one of your rats scurries off, and then bringing it back somehow in his mouth, he just then climbs up your coat and just hands you the opium pipe.
You're simply going to point the pipe at and say, "Smoke it and calm down. We can talk this over rationally, or you're going to lose most of the supply."
You see him gingerly walk over as he does take the pipe, and he does take a nice puff of it. Oh, now that is better.
Why do you think people want to take this place specifically? There's plenty of opium dens. Why yours?
Because, well, I am simply one of many. People around this place come to me. The same as anyone around Shangdang's goes to his.
Do you reckon that could be Mr. S as a good initial?
His surname is Bayer.
I thought that was just an alias. Is it actually Bayer as his last name?
Wait, is it an alias or is it actually Bayer?
It is an alias.
Okay.
Okay. I thought I was being stupid for a second. I thought I was reading too far into it. Okay. So, Yang Tao, do you reckon he could be the person trying to root out the competition?
I do not know, but the person who tried to get this place for me was definitely not of me. It was of them, as he points to the tower of people who caved in the door.
You reckon it was one of the locals?
No, not one of the locals, but someone of that kind. You know, England kind.
Fair enough.
The entirety of British.
I assume you're aware that I point to them and say they gave you the opium to begin with.
Yes?
So, knowing our culture of giving one to take about 5 worths or something, did you really think that you could trust them?
There is money to be made?
There's also great risks. You're working outside the law. You just were silly enough to murder someone, leave the corpse, and use a knife literally with your name on.
And who is it that that peddled opium by the ton into Canton? It was you lot.
It was who?
The British in India.
Yes.
Okay, but this seems like a generalization. Like, I didn't personally go over there and do it.
However, you personally murdered someone who's British, and for some reason took us around about 2 days to get to, instead of some of the other crimes which take us maybe a few weeks.
You see him walk around to the desk, just slowly being more and more defeated.
You ready to go now? To be fair, you would have only been in it for you would have been in jail for a few months if it was just opening them. Because to be fair, there's a lot of them. We can't afford to open up our prison with just you lot. But since you committed murder, you'll be gone to this place. Good few years, but it could be the same again. Shit takes a shit.
What is the expression you use? Fuck it.
Oh God, is he doing anything, or has he just said it and looks defeated?
He just said it, then walks back around the table to you and just holds out his hands.
Do I have cuffs on me? I'm assuming I do.
Well, you
You
can just...
have rats.
Yeah, you have rat cuffs.
And
I'm simply going.
take her bandana out of her hair and tightly wrap it around his hands so he can't move.
I was about to invent some rat cuffs, but thank you. I was going to have 2 rats like gently clamp each other's tails to just form like a figure of 8 around the wrist so they couldn't escape, but that works brilliantly. Thank you for your bandana.
No problem. She points at him and she's like, I want that back, by the way.
With what you just smoked, I'm not sure you do. It's going to smell.
My only bandana, I want it back.
Is there any like fancy fabric in the smoking?
Say that again?
Is there any like fancy fabrics in
No, not particularly.
Okay, I'm just gonna, out of curiosity, how much were those pipes into it? Very on. Same with the back.
Are you asking that to young Tao?
Yeah.
They were a gift.
Are the local dealers or just, you turned 6 son, have you rent pipe?
A gift from my home in Guangzhou.
Is that where you've been getting the supply then?
Yes.
Oh, thank you for being so cooperative. Is there any other nearby ones you want to take down with you while we're at it? Opium den.
No.
Let's get you down to the station. Walk him off.
So, as you take him down to Scotland Yard, obviously you collect the remainder of your pets. On the way you do find a constable who does help you escort him to the station. You obviously reach the outside of the yards, and the constable takes over, and it's another case solved.
That felt too. I'm looking at, well, is Cool there or not yet? Because I know they went to get them, but I'm not sure how far they.
I would say you've all encountered on the way, and now standing outside Scotland Yard, you're all 3 there together.
I'm gonna look at Quill and say that felt too easy. That's something we must be sub.
We still don't know who Espire is.
That's true.
I chalked up to confidence up.
Well, for my first case, I think I did very well.
Yes, we got a lot of information from the tellers and
I
from.
got a dress.
We have seized evidence. I'm looking around
Yeah,
because we're at the police station and you just openly said I stole a dress.
I mean,
It's that
oh,
point,
shit.
We seized evidence.
amongst your conversation, you hear a loud bang, a crash and a tumble, and a scream, followed by gasps and the best way I can put it, the clambering for air as all of a sudden you just see a couple people run from one of the neighboring streets.
Oh, okay.
Do you go investigate?
Yeah.
As you make your way down the opposite way that the people are running, you see in one of the many crossroads in this part of London, you see a overturned carriage, slightly ablaze, and this is a lot bigger. This is a proper horse-drawn carriage, overturned and slightly smouldering and on fire, with people running in all different directions. Some have panicked, some to escape. But it's clear that you have, quite coincidentally, stumbled upon the next crime that your agency will be taking on. And that's why we're going to end it for tonight.
That was fun. I'm slightly scared.
That was really fun. Also,
Well,
just
Go on, Shiva.
I know that someone just died, but anyone up for looting the